Temperatures being 30 degrees above average.
Put the power of over 100 meteorologists and the worldwide resources of Fox in your hands with the Fox Weather Podcast. Precise, personal, powerful. Subscribe and listen now at foxnewspodcasts.com. Connect to Fox News Audio on the Fox News app. Listen to hear your favorite hosts like Brian Kilmeade and Guy Benson standing up for what's right, live and via podcast. Just click listen, then swipe right and hear the latest news updates on your time. And scroll down to hear the latest podcasts from Fox News. And it's even easier to listen in the car with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Get programming alerts and notifications. Fox News Audio is on the Fox News app. The America trusts. Download it now.
A kiss and a proposal more than 1,000 feet above New York City today atop the Empire State Building.
A couple of masked daredevils took their love to astounding heights, climbing the Empire State Building's 1,454-foot antenna to unfurl a banner and film the terrifying view from the top. After about 30 minutes, the pair climbed down, and that's when the stunt turned romantic. The man, identified as Ivan Vanya Birkas, dropped to one knee and popped the question. And Angela Nicolau appeared to say yes, later showing off the ring on Instagram. No one was injured, but the couple climbed their way into trouble. Police took the pair into custody on the ground. Charges are pending. Carmen Roberts, Fox News.
The woman's Instagram account says the couple was the subject of a 2024 Netflix documentary, Skywalker's A Love Story, which premiered at the Sundance Film Festival that year. Actor and activist Danny Glover has revealed he has Alzheimer's disease. The four-time Emmy Award nominee, who turns 80 July 22nd, says he was diagnosed 3 years ago, telling People magazine he's still not accepting it in his mind, all parts of it. Glover earned 4 Emmy nominations and an honorary Oscar in 2022. He's also received awards from the NAACP. More than 6 million people in the U.S. have Alzheimer's, the most common form of dementia. He was the original lead singer of an iconic 70s singing group. Victor Willis, who co-founded the Village People and co-wrote their biggest hits like YMCA, Macho Man, and In the Navy, has died. The group posted on social media that Willis died yesterday after a short but aggressive illness. Willis, who performed as a helmeted police officer, left and rejoined the group more than once. In 2012, he won a landmark case allowing artists to reclaim their work. I'm Lee Silasera. This is Fox News.
From the Spring Hill Toyota Traffic Center.
We have a disabled vehicle in the roadway, North Old Palafox Highway at East Burgess Road. Watch for some slowing west on the Bayway from the Eastern Shore to the tunnel in Mobile. It's a 15-minute drive. We also have an accident, Dolphin Street at Common Street, and it's slow at the Cochrane Bridge east on Highway 90 from 165 to I-10. It's a 24-minute drive. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Lisa Baque.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Fireworks are cool, but festive flowers last longer. During July 4th deals at Lowe's, get 2 1.5-gallon red, white, and blue annual hanging baskets for just $15. Valid through 7/8. Selection varies by location while supplies last. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
If you see traffic trouble, call the Acadian Windows traffic tip line at pound 250, keyword total traffic when prompted. Acadian Windows, your hurricane protection specialists.
This is the Uncle Henry Show here on News Radio 710 WNTM. Thank you very much for listening to the Uncle Henry Show. I appreciate that very, very much. I really do. This show's still a very important part of my financial plan and my financial future. Once again, here we are together, just the two of us here, you and me, trying to figure out what is going on. What is going on? what is going on in this world around us and what has gotten into people these days, aside from the devil, in addition to. Now, if you've got something you want to tell me about, telephone lines are open, 251-479-2723. That's 251-479-2723. Email address, unclehenry@iheartmedia.com. That's unclehenry@iheartmedia.com. And again, this is day number 2. Before I get into all the stuff I want to talk about, this is day number 2 of the brand new software that we're using for broadcasting on News Radio 710 WNTM. So if you love bloopers, bloopers used to be very popular in our country. There were TV shows devoted to bloopers. Do you remember this? I think Dick Clark started it. People love broadcast bloopers where the news anchors make mistakes or things like that. So lots of bloopers. Yesterday, we had all kind of echoes and stuff going on in the commercial breaks, and there may be plenty of bloopers today. So anyway, if you love bloopers, this is going to be a great day, a great weekend for you as we try to get all the bugs out of the system here on News Radio 710 WNTM. Just bear with us. And I had some kind listeners reach out to me yesterday and let me know about some of the technical issues. Thank you to those that reached out. Please continue. If you hear things today or over the weekend, like 2 or 3 things are playing at the same time, or it sounds like an echo or whatever it is, please let me know. UncleHenry@iHeartMedia.com. That's UncleHenry@iHeartMedia.com to let me know whatever it is that you may or may not be hearing correctly on News Radio 710 WNTM. Now, there's a lot of focus. Right now, we're heading into the Independence Day holiday, as I'm sure you're aware. If you listen to this radio station, you're aware of a lot of things that other people are not aware of, because the people that don't listen to news talk, that listen to just music and stuff, those people are just fly-by-night, frivolous people. They got no idea what's going on in the world around them. You listen to talk radio, that means you care. You care. You want to know about the world around you. And so you understand that Independence Day is coming up this Saturday. As we get closer to it, there's a lot of emphasis on safety. The country, now more than ever, adults in this country are all about being safe, want to be as safe as possible. And there's a lot of talk about driving safety. We're going to have a record number of people going to be on the roads this Independence Day weekend, and we're being encouraged to drive as carefully. We're all being encouraged to drive like we're a responsible grandmother, not one of these new modern drunk grandmothers. We're talking about high grandmothers. We're talking about the old-fashioned grandmother that would drive 10 miles per hour and would only drive to the grocery store and to church on Sunday. We're being encouraged to drive like that throwback granny. I want to just point something out that I think is not safe. It's certainly annoying. I don't think it's safe. This morning I was driving to work. Got close to work, and I was at a red light behind somebody. And when the light turned green, I had to sit through the green light. Now, it was not a medical emergency. The person in front of me didn't have a heart attack or a stroke, or they weren't giving birth or something like that, or shooting up their drugs or whatever. It wasn't something like that. From what I could tell, they were just engrossed with something on their phone. And the green light just was not a big deal in their life. The big deal was happening in their phone. And I honked, even though my wife tells me there is no good excuse to honk, that it's rude, that I should be understanding and forgiving of the person in front of me. And I should just let them sit there and experience life the way they want to. I did honk against the wishes of my wife. And the honking didn't work. It didn't. I did something I probably shouldn't have done. Now, there were no rude gestures or nothing like that. But I did roll down my window and shout, because I thought, well, maybe the sound of the human voice in distress will register in the ear of this person. Maybe that will help. If they hear an elderly man begging to be allowed to go to work. Please go! Please! I've got to earn! I've got bills! Please, go! Didn't work. It did not work. So I sat there, just stayed there, was caught there. Had to sit through the green light. I was there. The light was red. The light turned green, and I had to sit through the green light, honked the horn, yelled out the window, nothing worked, and then sat through another red light. And that was, I guess, time for all of us to reflect, because I was not the only person. We didn't get together and form a group or anything, but we're all sharing an experience there behind this person. And finally, when the light turned green again this morning, the person in front of me went on and went about their business and who knows what they're doing right now, probably staring at their phone. I bring this stupid story up just to say we still have not figured out what to do. We still have not figured out what to do with people and their smartphones in their cars. I am shocked that more people are not getting run over with the amount of people that are looking at their phones, that the amount of people that are driving and texting at the same time. We're going to have to figure something else. There's going to have to be, I don't know if this is being allowed to happen so that by whoever's running things, I don't know if it's lizard people or hybrids or whatever it is that's running things these days. I haven't watched the right podcast to learn what type of alien is running the show these days, but are they letting people do this just so we'll accept the robot cars? Is that why they're letting this happen? Is to get us to all get into these electric cars that do the driving for us? Because eventually that's where it's going. Eventually we're going to need the car to do the driving because people are getting worser. They are. They're getting worser behind the wheel. Now, I don't mean everybody. You, as a news talk radio listener, I'm sure you don't text and drive and you're not reading websites or whatever it is, posting on social media or whatever it is you're not doing that on your phone while you're driving, because I trust you as a news talk listener. But all these music radio station listeners, there's no telling what they're doing on their phone. I'm positive I was behind a music station listener this morning when I got stuck and I had to sit through a green light because there was something on that phone. I don't know if they might have been filling out a form. They might have made a doctor's appointment and the doctor sent them like a 100 question form that you can fill out on your phone. And they might have been doing that. Who knows? Who knows what it is? But we're going to have to figure something out. I don't know if there's a technological answer. I don't know if there's something they could do to where when you get in the car, the smartphone capability would automatically switch over to the car itself. I don't know what the answer is, because it's obviously not going to be responsible drivers that are solving this problem. I wonder if it's, would it be illegal for me to get a big loudspeaker? I would like to have a loudspeaker on top of my car and ride around and talk to people through a giant loudspeaker on top of my car. I think I saw this in the Blues Brothers movie. Didn't they have a big speaker on top of their Blues Brothers car? And they rode around and told people to come to the Blues Brothers show? I need something like that, just to tell people to get off their phones so that we can all go to work. 251-479-2723, the telephone number. Hello, caller.
Good evening.
Norman, you are live on the radio.
I don't get to call a whole lot. About once a week is all I can manage. But, you're dead on when you're talking about them. They want all the cars electric. They want everybody where they can control them. They want to control your money. They want to control where you go and what you do. And, you know, you got these kids that they indoctrinating, and they can't even write cursive. You know, they depend on their phone and their computer for everything, and they believe anything you tell them. You know, they believe the garbage that CNN and that they see on the news or whatever they hear, you know, on the internet. And they don't really have real life experiences. They just think, oh, that's the way it's supposed to be. The world owes me a living.
Right. That's right. That's what they think. They're raised in a cocoon.
Exactly.
A digital cocoon.
That's what the government elite wants. They want sheep that'll just earn and give the government all your money, and we'll give you back what we think you need to survive. Because we know what's best for you.
That's right. You're absolutely right. They don't want us to think. They just want us to earn so they can take it from us.
And the ones that are up there, the Ocasio and the Bernie Sanders and the Mom Domneys and whatever else, you know, they ain't worked a day in their life. They're professional politicians that just spend other people's money. They don't know how to earn an honest living.
Hey, it was President Obama that said that when he was a young guy, and he went to some corporation once on a job and said it felt like going behind enemy lines. It was behind enemy lines because it was in a corporate office.
Exactly, and that's the way they see us. That's the way they see you and me, and honest, you know, loyal, patriotic Americans. Now, speaking of that, are you going to be at any Independence Day functions, or are y'all going to be shooting fireworks, or what's the iHeart people going to be doing?
Well, I don't know that there's iHeart people plans, but if there are, they didn't invite me. I've decided I'm going to go to the fireworks in Fairhope this year. And there's going to be a little parade in Magnolia Springs the morning, like 10:30 in the morning. And at my age, I think that's the best time to celebrate, around 10:30 in the morning.
Now, are you gonna bring a pipe or a drum? Are you gonna march or anything like that?
Well, I'll march. If somebody wants me to march, I'll be glad to. I'm proud that I'm still ambulatory. I'll be glad to march around if somebody wants me to.
Oh, that'd be good. Well, anyhow, I won't keep you. I know there's other listeners or callers, but God bless America. You know, continue to pray for this great country, that these communists and infiltrators and people inside that just hate our way of life don't be successful. Keep your powder dry. God bless America, and roll tide.
Roll tide, roll. Norman, thank you very much for your phone call. Let me see if I can get another caller on here before I go to my first break of this hour. Hello, caller.
Hey, Uncle Henry, Nevco Bill.
Nevco Bill, you are live on the radio.
Awesome. Hey, I was calling about that time capsule they buried and was wondering, has anybody started thoughts about what might be in it? I had a few thoughts.
Now, wait a minute. You're talking about the time capsule they're going to be opening up this Sunday afternoon?
Yes, sir, with young Mayor Spiro.
Yeah, for the listeners that don't know about what you're talking about, there is a time capsule that Mobile buried 50 years ago in 1976, and they're going to open it up Sunday afternoon. Young Mayor Spiro is going to do it, and the authorities say that they don't have records of what's in it. So what do you think's in it?
Okay, I want my money on a disco ball, a Farrah Fawcett poster that was famous in 1976.
That was my first answer. That Farrah Fawcett poster was released in the summer of '76, and that was the biggest cultural thing in the country for a while, at least for teenage boys.
Yeah, I hope it made it into the capsule. And Leisure Suit, and I don't know a whole lot else, but I'd love to hear what everybody else thinks.
All right, well, Navco Bill, we'll find out if anybody else has any thoughts on that.
All right. Have a good one.
You
Henry.
too. Thank you very, very much for your phone call, Navco Bill. All right, going to take a brief timeout and then more. Uncle Henry's show coming up here on News Radio 710 WNTM. Again, if you hear weird things, well, a lot is going to be really weird on this show, but if you hear technically weird things, be sure to let me know as we're using this new software for the first time this week. Uncle Henry at iHeartMedia.com is the email address to report any kind of technical issue that you hear. Back after the break.
Fox News, I'm Tom Graham. Record-breaking temperatures gripping several states ahead of the 4th of July holiday.
More than 65 million people across 20 states could see temperatures top 100 degrees this week. Forecasters are expecting Friday heat indices of 105 in Raleigh, North Carolina, 109 in Memphis, Tennessee, and 110 in Washington, D.C.
Fox's Tanya J. Powers. California drivers getting hit with an additional gas tax. Fox's William Longinus in L.A.
Today's increase is only 2 cents, but that brings the state gas tax to 63 cents a gallon. When you add in other environmental fees and taxes, the state adds $1.20 to every gallon of gas sold.
AAA puts California's average for a gallon of regular gas at $5.41. That is the highest gas price average in the country. America is listening to Fox News.
President Trump is in North Dakota, honoring a figure he says embodied the heart and soul of America. He's in the city of Medora for the dedication of the Theodore Roosevelt Presidential Library.
On the steps of the Burning Hills, we dedicate a living monument to a legend, a statesman, a soldier, frontiersman.
Trump took a new Air Force One on its maiden voyage to get there. Scorching temperatures are impacting millions across the eastern U.S. As the 4th of July weekend approaches, the most extreme temperatures are in the Great Lakes region today, with parts of Wisconsin, Ohio, Michigan, and Illinois all expected to be impacted. It's expected temperatures in Washington, D.C. and New York City could hit the triple digits. The U.S. is kicking off their World Cup knockout stage match in just a few hours, taking on Bosnia-Herzegovina in Santa Clara, California. England beat the Democratic Republic of the Congo earlier today in Atlanta with 2 goals from star Harry Kane. I'm Scott Carr.
In Mobile, watch for an accident Airport Boulevard near Hillcrest Road. We also have an overturned vehicle on Lafitte Road between Traveler Drive and T.M. Brett Boulevard. Also, we have congestion developing on Highway 98 West at the Bankhead Tunnel, 5-minute drive. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Lisa Paquet.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm. Trouble sleeping lately? Upgrade to the great sleep you deserve at Mattress Firm's July 4th sale. Choose from a curated selection of top brands and let their sleep experts help you narrow it down. They make sleep easy.
If you see traffic trouble, call the Acadian Windows traffic tip line at pound 250, keyword total traffic when prompted. Acadian Windows, your hurricane protection specialists.
Hey, Uncle Henry here, and if it's your dream to own a boat, do what so many Mobile County people do. Go see my friends at Gulf Coast Federal Credit Union. They finance new and pre-owned boats with up to 100% financing. Terms up to 5 years for lower payments, no application fee, and fast local answers. You can apply now at GulfCoastFCU.org. Call 251-438-7464 or stop by a branch. Loans subject to approval. That's Gulf Coast Federal Credit Union.
When it comes to keeping your skin healthy and beautiful, trust the board-certified dermatologists at Advanced Dermatology and Skincare Center. From cosmetic procedures to diagnosis and treatment of serious skin problems, such as skin cancer, they utilize the latest technology and procedures available. To schedule your appointment at one of our convenient locations across the Gulf Coast, visit AdvancedDermClinic.com. Advanced Dermatology and Skincare Center, dedicated to healthy, beautiful skin.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free, and you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Hey, Uncle Henry here, and I've got two people with me who know how to help you make sense of your money. John McNeil and Virginia O'Brien from Mobile Bay Financial Solutions.
Thanks, Uncle Henry. With the economy continuing to shift, there's never been a more crucial time to take control of your financial future. Whether you're planning for retirement or just trying to protect what you've built, we're here to help you do it with confidence.
That's right. We're local, we're trusted, and we're ready to guide you through uncertain times. Call us today at 251-666-5000 for a free financial checkup. That's 251-666-5000. Let's make sure your money is working as hard as you are.
Mobile Bay Financial Solutions. Smart planning right here at home.
Advisory services offered through Mobile Bay Financial Services, LLC, an Alabama-registered investment advisor. We can offer investment advice in states where we are registered, exempt, or excluded from registration. The material contained herein should not be construed as an offer or solicitation for investment advice, securities, insurance, or other investment products.
If you want to get yourself a hot tub, Pool and Spa Superstore is offering up to $2,500 off all the hot tubs they carry. Go west on Cottage Hill Road, take a right on Dawes Road. You can't miss Pool and Spa Superstore.
Why pinch pennies when you can save dollars at Pool and Spa Superstore?
If you run a business and need to get your message to your next customers fast, nothing is faster than audio with iHeart. Let us help you reach the audience you need to grow your business at the speed of sound at iHeartAdvertising.com.
Our iHeartRadio Music Festival,
presented by Capital One,
is coming back to Las Vegas.
September 18th and 19th at T-Mobile Arena. Streaming live on Disney Plus and Hulu. A weekend full of superstar performances.
Tickets are on sale now at AXS.com.
It's going to be one wild weekend. Are you ready?
Brought to you by Metro by T-Mobile, proud partner of the 2026 iHeartRadio Music Festival. Get that This Is My Song feeling only at Metro.
Uncle Henry Show here on News Radio 710 WNTM. Thank you so much for listening to the Uncle Henry Show here on this Wednesday. Telephone number to reach the Uncle Henry Show, 251-479-2723. That's 251-479-2723. Email address, unclehenry@iheartmedia.com. That's unclehenry@iheartmedia.com. And again, any big technical problems, please let me know. Do me a favor and let me know. unclehenry@iheartmedia.com, or you can even call me directly while on the air at 251-479-2723. That's 251-479-2723. Now, in the last segment of the show, we had Navco Bill talk about this time capsule that they are opening up this Sunday. I've got the Fox 10 story about it. Let's listen just so you understand exactly what Navco Bill is talking about.
Well, this holiday weekend, a time capsule that has been sealed for nearly 50 years will finally be opened. All of this as America is celebrating its 250th birthday. That is this Sunday, July 5th at Fort Condy. The fort opens at 1 in the afternoon with events kicking off at 4 o'clock, including a reenactment of the capture of James Willing. Willing is an American patriot who led raids against British forces along the Mississippi River. In 1778, he stopped in British-controlled Mobile and handed out copies of the newly adopted Declaration of Independence. He was arrested for treason against the crown. That moment is reenacted each Independence Day at Fort Condy at 5 o'clock.
So there will be a reenactment at Fort Condy, some type of colonial reenactment.
You'll have the highly anticipated opening of that time capsule that was buried in 1976 during America's bicentennial. And you'll also have the opening of Fort Condy.
Can you tell us what's in the time capsule, or do you have to be there to find out?
You have to be there to find out, but we don't know really what's in the time capsule. The records were lost, so we will find out when the public does. Yeah. Fort Conde in itself tells the story of the colonial development and the wider picture of American colonial development. It's not just American, it's how we became American, and that's through the French, the Spanish, and the British empires.
So do you hear what the guy said? The records were lost. It's only been 50 years. Are we that bad at keeping records around here? I mean, come on. 1976, we had technology back then. We had liquid paper. You remember that? Typewriters and stuff. They lost the records. They didn't have a file cabinet to keep it in. We are not. How about that? Something 50 years ago, they couldn't keep the records. All right, so Mobile, we've got a lot going for us here. Wonderful food, wonderful seafood, but we're not good at keeping records. So Navco Bill called in and came up with some thoughts on what might be in the time capsule. He mentioned the Farrah Fawcett Majors poster, the infamous 1976 Farrah Fawcett Majors poster, because that was a really big deal back in 1976. But what else could be in there? You know, I thought about what would you put in a Mobile time capsule from 1976? Well, certainly copies of the local newspaper. Get some copies of the paper in there. Maybe they put in bicentennial stuff about the bicentennial in there from the Press Register and whatever else they could have put in there. Maybe even notes from local elected officials. I don't know if was it Lambert Mims, Gary Greeno, Bob Doyle. I don't know if those were the three commissioners or not, but they were around that era. Maybe they'll be represented in there. We can look and see what officials in the time capsule had to go to jail. That'd be interesting, wouldn't it? How many officials mentioned in the time capsule actually served time after they buried it? And I don't remember who was on the county commission back 50 years ago. I think Bay Hayes was one of them. Probably stuff from some elected officials. And I'm trying to think of what was really prevalent. I know in 76, denim was a big deal. People wore a lot of denim. They wear it now, of course, but they wore a lot of denim back in 1976. And bell bottoms. I think bell bottom jeans were a big deal back in 1976. I doubt they'll put that in there. So I am curious about what they were. Now, I'm not curious enough to actually go to the event and see what's going on. But I am curious enough to find out later what was in the time capsule. And again, that's all happening Sunday. If you're looking for something to do, maybe you've got literally nothing else to do. Sunday, you could go down there and watch them look into that time capsule. Again, 251-479-2723, the telephone number here on the Uncle Henry Show. That's 251-479-2723. Email address, unclehenry@iheartmedia.com. That's unclehenry@iheartmedia.com. Now, so they're doing a lot of surveys now, asking people about the United States of America, asking people if what they think of the country. One of the more interesting polls I saw, I think CBS did it, they asked people what they thought was the best invention that America or Americans had come up with. The best invention. Now, I think their top three answers, this is kind of like Family Feud, isn't it? The number one answer in the poll asking Americans what they think the best American invention was, the top answer was freedom. All right, good. I'll go along with that. That's a good answer. Freedom. Whenever we're allowed to be free, it's great. Didn't have a lot of it over the past several years, but whenever we're allowed to be free, pretty good. Number 2 on the list, if I remember correctly, was the light bulb. And that is a really good invention if you think about it. And then number 3 on the list was the internet, which I don't know. I know there's a lot of good that can come from it, but I'm still very suspicious of the internet. I'm already irritated that it's watching me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, or listening to me, or keeping track of me, or all that kind of stuff. I don't like that part of it. That doesn't seem to fit into the freedom thing. It doesn't fit into invention 1, when invention 3 seems to work so well against invention number 1. But I don't know if I'd put them in that order. Number 1, freedom. Number 2, light bulb. And number 3, the internet. I think freedom I would have freedom as number 1 when we're allowed to have it. I like it. It's good. I like it. The less I have of it, the more I like it. So freedom I would keep that at number 1. But toilet paper. Now, I know that there's other people argue about who invented toilet paper, but I think there's some American that gets credit for the modern version of commercially sold toilet paper that we have now. And I really think I would put that over the light bulb. I would. Now, maybe you want the light bulb and you don't care if you have toilet paper, and if you want to be nasty, that's up to you. But I like toilet paper, so I'd have toilet paper as number 2. Freedom number 1, when we're allowed to have it, it's good. Toilet paper number 2. Now for number 3, there's so many good inventions, but I really, really like, in terms of daily impact on my life, I'm going to go with chicken finger. Yes, now I know that people fry chicken all over the world, but I think that Americans are the ones that decided to take white meat from a chicken and pretend it's a finger. And I like that. So, yes, I would put that at number 3 because it has an impact on my daily life. People that know me intimately know that's true. It is important to me. So it'd be number 1, freedom. I like freedom whenever we get it. Less now than ever before, but freedom 1, toilet paper number 2, chicken finger number 3. And more than the light bulb and more than the internet, I would put television. Yeah, TV. The boob tube. Even though there's a lot of trash on it and it's been turned into a sewer by later generations, when they first came out with it, it was really good. It was really good when they, trust me on this, you're not old enough to remember, but when it came out at first, it was really good. There wasn't as many communists on there, and people weren't cussing on there and showing the parts of their bodies or nothing. You had good TV shows like I Love Lucy and Jackie Gleason, the Honeymooners and stuff like that. It was really good. Leave It to the Beaver, all that kind of stuff. It was really good before it started getting nasty. So, yeah, so freedom would be 1 for me. I like freedom whenever we get a little bit of it. Freedom, toilet paper, chicken fingers, television. And there's all kind of good stuff. There's the Colt revolver. There's all kind of stuff after that. I mean, just you could stack up a big stack of great inventions. But those are the ones that really stand out for me that I really, really like as far as great American inventions. 251-479-2723, the telephone number to call here on the Uncle Henry Show. That's 251-479-2723. Email address, unclehenry@iheartmedia.com. Now, let me see. I did get an email on the technical issues. I want to thank this lady for emailing, asking people what are you hearing that needs to be fixed with our new broadcast software. And this one lady, she has written, "Hey there, the reverb was really bad at the start of the first commercial break, but sounded like somebody found the switch and it stopped." All right, that's nice. I'm glad somebody knows where a switch is. She goes on to write, however, the intro and outro music is still much louder than any voices. It's very hard to hear what's being said either by you or just like now. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. All right. So I guess I need to get rid of bumper music and all that stuff altogether until we figure this out. Whoever, lady, thank you very much for emailing me about what needs to be fixed. By the way, I took your emails from yesterday and I emailed a bunch of people in the company asking them for help. And I'm still waiting on a reply. So eventually it'll get fixed. If you just hang in there. Eventually it'll get fixed. And if it gets too bad, I may invite some select listeners just to come in and I'll do the show to them in the studio and they can avoid all of the problems there. All right, let's see. I got some voicemail to get to. I was talking about driving and how difficult it is with people on their phones. And this message came in.
Hey, right now, and you talking about honking at those people triggered me. Wanted to call you earlier, but I couldn't get a whole voicemail together, but I'm calling you now to let you know. People who don't use their blinkers, in my opinion, have no character whatsoever. They don't use their rear blinkers. They don't do their front blinkers because they don't care about being courteous to other people.
That's true. You know what? I'm pausing there just to agree with this voicemailer. You, the person that doesn't use your blinker, I guess that's a passive aggressive way of flipping us off. The people behind you, the people that are dutifully behind you, allowing you to ride in front of us in the traffic flow. This is your way of flipping us off by not using your blinker. Is that it? Is that what you just have contempt for everyone else on the road? Are you consumed with your own personal narcissism? Then you think all of the traffic revolves around you and where you're going and what you're doing? Is that what it is? I mean, back in the day, you know how important it was to use blinkers? You know, back in the day, we used to use arm signals. I'm still old enough to remember sticking my arm out the car window, and I wasn't flipping nobody off. I was giving them signals, letting them know that I'm turning left or right, using the arm signal because I cared. I cared about my fellow man and woman. All right, back to the voicemail. Let me get back to this excellent voicemail.
Rear blinkers, they don't do their front blinkers because they don't care about being courteous to other people.
They don't.
And another thing, I'm going down the street. You know, there's 3 lanes of traffic on one side of the road or the other. You go east, west, north, south, whatever, and there's always a turning lane in the middle. Well, if the traffic comes up and the person in the right lane is supposed to turn right or go straight, but the red light, nobody goes going east or west, but these people will swing all the way around all them lanes of traffic to get where they're going because they weren't smart enough to get in the turning lane before the turning signal.
Yes.
And I've come to the conclusion that cops don't bother these people because they don't want to get in an altercation with whomever may be driving that car.
Hey, voicemailer, I'm pausing just to say we are degenerating. We are devolving into third world traffic manners. That's what's happening in this country. We are devolving and degenerating into third world traffic rules. That's just we might as well be in any third world country riding around the way that some of these folks are out there driving.
With whomever may be driving that car. They just don't let them go. And that's what the society is becoming. Just let people do whatever the heck they want to do. Sorry about that. Anyways, I hope you have a great afternoon. You're looking pretty sharp. Loving that jacket and that tie. And roll tide.
Roll tide. All right, so thank you very much. Somebody watching on YouTube. Those of you, thank you to the small number of people looking at the Uncle Henry Show on YouTube. And because of the new broadcast software, I'm not engaging in commercial break conversations with the YouTubers because I'm afraid that it'll somehow end up on the air. And then we'll have reverb sounds, loud music, commercials, me talking over all of it. I'm just trying to keep it as simple as I can. But thank you for watching on YouTube, on the Uncle Henry Show YouTube channel. All right, let's see. Yes, and thank you for bringing up the driving is getting worse and worse. Cars have gotten better. Cars, I remember when even if you took good care of your car, sometimes it wouldn't start. Even when you did regular maintenance, sometimes the car wouldn't. Now the cars are more reliable than they've ever been. They can do more things that they've ever done. They'll try to teach you to drive. They'll tell you that somebody's coming up in the lane next to you. They'll try to help you back up. They'll try to help you park. They'll do all kinds of things for you. But the people that are driving the cars are going in the opposite direction. They're getting worse and worse and worse. And I don't know if people are getting dumber or if they've just decided that part of the thinking should be done by a computer somewhere, and they're going to let their brain, they're going to imagine whatever show they saw on HBO last night or something in their head. I don't know what's going on. But anyway, driving, yes, thank you for confirming that driving is getting worse. All right, going to take a brief timeout and then more Uncle Henry Show if I can get the break to play here on News Radio 710 WNTM.
With injury and road blockage, North Pace Boulevard at West Fairfield Drive. Also, we have an accident, Airport Boulevard.
And we're back here on News Radio 710 WNTM, the Uncle Henry Show. Yes, I eliminated the bumper music because the lady told me that the bumper music was so incredibly loud. So I'm going to get all this fixed eventually. I don't know, probably not by tomorrow, but we'll get it fixed eventually. But here we are together, Uncle Henry Show here on News Radio 710 WNTM. We have news headlines coming up. News headlines coming up here in just a few minutes, less than 10 minutes. And then more Uncle Henry Show after 6 o'clock. Going to get into some. I have more things I want to examine on driving. I know the Alabama Law Enforcement Association, this is a time of year that they go into heavy patrol and they have their own safety tips. And so I'm going to try and find out what the Alabama Law Enforcement Association has to say about all of our Independence Day weekend driving. So we'll get into all of that and more as the Uncle Henry Show continues after 6 o'clock here on News Radio 710 WNTM. Now, let's see. In our remaining moments in this hour of Uncle Henry Show, I've got time for your phone call at 251-479-2723, or I can share another voicemail message. The voicemail number is 251-216-1976. That's 251-216-1976 to leave a message for the Uncle Henry Show. Now, let me go to a message. This was phoned in a few days ago.
Hey, Uncle Henry, this is RT from Midtown. Hey, it's Saturday, and I've been thinking a lot about all this stuff going on in Pritchard. And one thing I've noticed that nobody's mentioning is that Pritchard government and everybody running Pritchard are Democrats. Sounds a lot like California to me. It really does. And maybe, Pritchard.
Now, wait, before I'm going to unpause the messenger, RT, and I'm going to hear the rest of your call, but saying that Pritchard sounds a lot like California to you. And I can see the parallels between Pritchard, Alabama, and California. First of all, there's all the natural beauty. California, one of the most beautiful. The entire United States is gorgeous. It really is. We live in a beautiful country on a beautiful planet. California, just gorgeous. And Pritchard, it's very nice looking too, isn't it? It's very nice looking. I remember when they were building the 165 over Pritchard, they weren't going to have an exit. And the local officials had to raise what to get them to get an exit there in Pritchard. But Pritchard, gorgeous. Yes, so I can see the parallels between Pritchard and California.
It really does. And maybe, Pritchard's not as bad as California, so look on the bright side. But this Sheriff Paul Birch, I'm worried about him taking over the police department. We're going to end up paying for all that manpower. I would strongly suggest Paul Birch giving President Trump a phone call. Maybe he can bring the boys down here and do something that might be more effective and a lot less costly to us here in Mobile.
I've never thought of a federal takeover of Pritchard.
It makes more sense to me to try that anyway. The one thing Democrats don't have is common sense. Nowhere. So anyway, just a thought, Uncle Henry. I'm tired of this. It's just like the Pritchard Water Board taking over, or asking malls to take over. That's going to appear on everybody's water bill. We're going to end up paying for their lack of common sense. Anyway, have a good weekend. Roll Tide Roll.
Roll Tide Roll. Yes, it is this horrible situation with the Pritchard Police Department. It looks like it's costing the Mobile County taxpayer. And I've done research on, is it feasible to just dissolve Pritchard? And it would be, I don't even know that they can do that. It's a mess. It is really a mess. So all we can hope for is that magically Pritchard officials get smart. So pray for that over the weekend. Pray for the smartening of Pritchard leaders. All right, out of time for this hour of Uncle Henry Show. I'll be back with you after the top of the hour news here on News Radio 710 WNTM.
We wouldn't be celebrating America 250 if it wasn't for a strong foundation set by the framers. Hamilton built America's financial foundation on sound money, later embodied by the gold standard. But we abandoned that discipline in 1971 and have seen inflation erode the dollar's value. What's the foundation of your saving? Is it gold or something that can be devalued? Hi, it's Dr. Ron Paul, and I encourage